Salutations from the Shroudedrealities podcast. I'm talking fancy today because we're talking about the Bohemian Grove today. I can't do it. I can't be fancy.
I wish I had a monocle.
Invite only.
Invite only. Secret society. We're gonna change the world from the woods of south of San Francisco.
Why am I thinking of like Mr. Peanut right now? It's just, this is the fanciest man I could think of.
I thought that's what the Monopoly man. That's his voice.
That's possible too.
I'm the Monopoly man. I like to go to the woods and dance around naked with dudes.
That's right.
Yeah, if you're anything like me, you probably have never heard of the Bohemian Grove.
Just blew your mind.
So we're gonna drop some knowledge on you and a ton of speculation.
Yeah,
because this is
90% speculation.
Because it's a crazy secretive place.
Locked up
like two dogs.
That's what they
You
say.
can't say that on the
Yeah,
radio.
we just did though.
We just did. Yeah. So.
The realities are bleeding together.
But yeah, Bohemian Grove place in the woods in San Francisco, just outside of it, where the super rich, the super elite meet to talk about their feet. No, I'm just kidding. They
might.
They
Actually,
that probably does come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a.
We're off to a crazy start.
Yep.
We're all losing it.
Do we want to restart? No, just kidding.
No way.
This is great.
So yeah, so trying to imagine, no, what's the best way to put it? It's a summer camp
For adults.
for rich, pasty
Theater kids.
Not even really. It used to be.
They are
I think
current
there's
theater adults.
Theater adults. You
Yeah.
can't tell me that they're not.
Not all.
They're all
Performing
actors.
Performing their high
Yeah.
jinks and their low jinks and their
Yeah.
peeing on
weird
trees.
things.
Peeing on trees. I like that part.
No,
Yeah.
If I'm going
into
to
that.
defend anything, it's
Yeah.
peeing on trees, dude. If you got to pee on trees,
I'll give you
pee
some
on trees.
context later that'll probably make you not feel that way.
About peeing on trees?
In that context of being in a
Look,
secretive group like that.
Hey,
Okay.
I live where I live currently, so
Yeah.
I can go outside and
Oh, I do.
urinate where I
Yeah.
want to.
I did this
Yeah,
morning.
that
Yeah.
part's cool. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in the context of being in
That's
this place.
the best. There's not a more
Oh, yeah.
freeing thing than just walking outside and just peeing.
Hey,
It's
Especially
great.
in the snow, you get that
Yeah.
crackle.
You
you get the melting
but-
snow.
See, they don't experience that because it's midsummers when they're there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's hot.
And it's midsummer because of Shakespeare.
Midsummer's Night's
it's a,
Dream.
It's a
Fancy.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Let's go to my play and watch Shakespeare.
I'm in the hillbilly camp.
What was all the name of the camps?
There's a
Hillbilly?
bunch of them, and it's all supposedly based on like what your theater drama thing would be.
See, it's all theater
super-
stuff. It's all weird,
It's weird like,
theater stuff. And these people around the
These
country.
people pay so much money to just do weird stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
we heard $20,000 just for the initiation fee.
25.
25,000
Yeah.
just for the initiation fee,
But you
plus
also
a
have
yearly due.
and you've got to be invited
Yeah,
by somebody who's
By
in
multiple.
like
They
the
said
high
multiple.
council or something like
Yeah.
that.
it's very
Like
Star Warsy.
yeah, it's got
Yeah.
some KKK smelling type stuff.
Well, they
going
dress
on.
like druids to do, which is really weird too.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
And the only way we even know this, all right, so it's so secret, it's super locked down,
Been going on for
fences all around
50
it.
years, I think.
Been going on forever. Super secret society. Nothing gets out. The people that work it are like sworn to secrecy and scared to tell anybody. There's some YouTubers that go around and try to get in, and they'll interview people from the town next
Mhm.
door, and they're like, no, I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I know it, but I'm not telling you.
I heard on that same topic, I heard that people are like that because it's a big cash flow into that
For the city.
area.
so
So
they
don't
want
want
to protect it.
They want to protect it. That's their cash flow.
Makes sense.
So I did find the name of the facilities or the separate camps here,
Okay.
and I'll drop a few. Hillbillies, which we've mentioned,
Yeah.
Mandalay, Caveman,
Mandalay Bay.
Stowaway, the Uplifters, the Owl's Nest,
Mm.
Mm.
Very Nazi.
Lost Angels, and the Silverado squatters, which that
We have a couple
I
of those
was
on the
just
road.
I was just about to ask which one would you pick, and then you throw that one out. It's like I got to go there.
I don't know,
Silverado
man. Like I feel
squatters.
like I could fall in the caveman. I've got the beard going at times where
Yeah.
I mean,
I could fit the caveman.
Some
trope.
squatted Silverados right across the street.
I was about to say it doesn't take it.
Got the Carolina squat going.
For us, that's probably hits a little close. That hillbillies, we're right in it.
Silverado squatters.
That's weird.
What's the weirdest one? What's the one you would not want to be in?
Mandalay. It just seems like that's where all the gay stuff goes down.
Man, delay.
Yeah, delay.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah, so,
when this first thing started, it was like what, 1870 something.
18.
What's up with 1870, man? 1870, all the weird stuff started happening.
Yeah, what's going on with that? That's
I mean,
that's almost a full 100 years
we
after.
talked about Seventh Day Advent. That was going on in 1870. You had Mormon stuff was
Maybe that's
popping off.
Maybe that's when fluoride hit the water. I
I
don't know.
Bohemian Grove was hitting
Kicking
their,
off.
hitting-
Maybe
hitting
people
their
just
stride.
got bored. They're
People in
like,
the
we need some.
1870s were doing some
We
weird
need a
crap.
group here.
1878.
1878.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there is what happened in the U.S. in 1870. Because other than everything, that's where everything kicked
The
off.
Industrial Revolution. I don't know.
I guess everybody's
Maybe
like,
where people are getting
we
money.
need we need to find something different than what we're doing, so we're gonna do the weird stuff.
Yeah.
In 1870.
Well, so like anything else in this world, it starts out one way and then ended up another.
Yeah, started
Like-
as like
Yeah.
art people, and
Yeah,
journalists. And,
Yeah, Bohemian is a socially unconventional person, especially one who is involved in the arts. And now it seems like there's some artsy fartsy stuff going on, but it seems more for the uber elite, the
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
than the arts.
the policymakers, the money makers.
Yeah, because from what I understand, the Bohemians back in the day, they were like vagabond, you
Mhm.
know,
Just floating
living
through.
off the system, living out of the system type
Yeah.
situation, which is cool. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Summer camp for Bohemians, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, then besides,
nothing
I don't want them doing drugs and
Yeah.
passing around the needle. You know,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
that seems like a place they would do it at.
Oh,
among
100%.
the redwoods. You
Even
know,
now.
just yeah, big time.
Yeah, so they summertime they go meet, get in the woods, and a lot of presidents are tied to this place. It's rumored that the Republican presidential nominees usually get chosen at Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. They normally make an appearance before they start an election, from what it looks like.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of their like.
Richard Nixon was one.
Mhm.
Reagan was one.
How about
the
just to make-
Bushes?
Just make this easy. Every Republican president since the 1920s, except for one.
Y'all got any guesses? Any guesses? Come
Connor?
on.
Trump, obviously.
Yeah,
it's
Joe
gotta be
Biden.
Trump.
Yeah.
What? He's left out of it?
What?
No way!
You mean he's not in the system? Come on.
That's crazy.
Was this the original Epstein Club? You think?
I think they got a different party going on at this place.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
so? It's
Yeah.
borderline,
It's a
I
different
think.
party.
Yeah, there's some dirty stuff going on. 100%. Like I almost like I'm okay with this. Like every social group has a gathering. They have
Yeah.
conventions.
You
they
can't
have
just
things go.
expect people to like just
Yeah.
be completely alone.
So uber rich, go party. Who cares? Where I have a problem is when they get to sacrificing human effigies
Yeah.
to an owl god in the woods and then
That-
frolicking around.
robes.
That may or may not be called Moloch.
Yeah, which is tied to Old Testament,
Yep.
one of the Old Testament's gods, which
Mhm.
is also tied to possibly the Book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
Drop.
Yeah, it all comes
It
together.
all
Mhm.
comes together.
It all comes together. We did last week. We decided to do this topic, and on my way home, I pulled up a podcast, and by the time I got home, I texted the guys. And it's like, I'm already tying this to the Book of Enoch already.
Golly.
Everything.
15 minutes in, Book of Enoch already. So yeah, so that's kind of the big.
But
Big
Moloch
thing.
is tied to the Aztecs. It's tied to a bunch of different
Yeah,
time frames in general,
and they were
not just Old Testament. It's child sacrifice has been
I
going
was
on
gonna
for
say,
a long time.
And
And what's up with child sacrifice? Because it seems like there's something going on with child sacrifice at every point in time.
yeah.
We're doing it now with abortion stuff. I
Mhm.
mean, whether you want to look at it that way or not, is what you're doing. And then they're doing it with a fake child, which
Mhm.
is still incredibly weird.
You think they might have used drill sometime in the past, back when I was
It's possible. There's been times where people are saying people just come up missing in that area. So
Ew.
yeah,
Maybe that's why the locals were a little scared.
yeah, that or a 40-foot owl.
Would you
statue.
move from that place if you knew that was going on, or would you stay and try to investigate, or would you be like, nah, this is weird, I got to get out of here?
So most of people don't try to investigate. There was a lady named Mary something. She's a protester that lives in literally their backyard. Her property adjoins it, and she's kind of like the big whistleblower of the group. Like
Right.
she got people to bring her when they worked on property. They would bring pamphlets and written material out to her. Supposedly they quit doing that because of that reason. They quit putting stuff on print, so that nothing can get leaked.
Gotcha.
And it's more locked down now than ever. Like I don't imagine anybody could get into it and find out anything of significance.
One of the reasons they quit doing print was they found a flyer that was of George Bush talking about the CIA, its present day and its future, in the Grove. So they do speeches and things like that of controlling a certain area or discussing how to control certain areas to me.
Which goes against the motto of the
which
Grove.
is I had it pulled
Something
up
about
here.
a spider's
Weaving
or something.
spiders come not here, which is another Midsummer Night's Dream William Shakespeare quote, which is yet again like a bunch of dudes quoting Shakespeare's. Pretty strange.
It's supposed to be
kind of cringe, honestly.
Supposed to be.
It really
it's
is.
supposed to mean like, if you come here, we're not talking business. But then they obviously talk business.
They're clearly talking business. I mean, there's connections with Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project involved with that. And he was there, and then
can you imagine how that started? Like two guys go to like trees next to each other, you know, they start peeing on them. Like, hey, I got this idea.
What you know about nuclear weapons?
I've got a guy. Oppenheimer, come here.
Come here, man. He's just stumbling. Oh my goodness, I'm hammered right now.
Because that's the thing, is they go and just drink at this. That's
constantly
from morning to night.
That sounds miserable.
Honestly,
like
and they can't hire women. Can't hire women because they don't want to give up peeing on trees.
Yeah, they got sued about it.
took it to court and won both times.
Yeah, they won both times, but I think they do hire women now, just in certain,
just to calm that down.
Guess where they
just
work?
to keep it in the kitchen.
So women can work here. Get your butt in the kitchen.
I heard somebody was talking about it, and they were mad that women were there in general, and they were like, "Well, we'll just put them in the kitchen. That'll be fine." And sure enough, that's where they ended up. So.
I had this thought about the peeing on trees thing. It's like I made a connection to like Epstein having cameras everywhere. Like, can you imagine you peeing on a tree? There's got to be somebody just getting a picture of you tinkling on a tree.
That's not even like good blackmail. I think
it could be.
There probably is good blackmail involved with this place for the other things that they're doing.
Yeah,
peeing on a tree that's minor compared to what's going on.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're rumored to bring in. The only women they do bring in are usually hookers.
Yeah,
and
isn't there a hotel at the end of the driveway, and they'll book some hookers and
they'll have their parties.
But they've also got male and female escorts involved in that, from what I've seen. Yeah,
that's gross.
It is. Kind of plays into the Shakespeare thing to me.
So the most information we have from this is from Alex Jones. He successfully infiltrated. This was in like 1999, somewhere in there.
And for the people that are, Alex Jones is your reference. That's not a good reference.
This is kind of how he got his start, though.
Go look up what Alex Jones has been right about, and you're going to be blown away. Because it's more than what you think. Yeah, he says things, and it sounds bombastic, and it sounds fake. Yeah, this dude's onto something. Yeah, and
I heard he's like the king conspiracy theorist. Yeah, but most of the time he's right.
I heard if you say his name 3 times, the FBI kicks your door in.
The CIA makes an entrance immediately.
100%. You lose everything.
He's been booted off of all any kind of social media. YouTube's knocked him off.
Banks.
Yeah, the banks.
No.
He's off to selling testosterone now to men.
I've seen a recent
Yeah,
clip
yes.
of him talking, and it is just absolutely insane.
Can you do his voice?
I can't. That's hard.
They're putting chemicals in the water.
There it is.
To turn the freaking frogs gay.
Demogorgons.
They've got human spotter analogs.
That's pretty solid. But yeah,
They're doing drag.
In '99, he snuck in with some hidden cameras, and he got in. He went in like the front door. Well, kind of. He snuck around
the back door.
He snuck around through the woods
Be
and
careful.
then got to the parking lot of. This place is so secret that even the parking lot's on lockdown. So you have to get through security to get into the parking lot. He got into the parking lot, got put on one of the little transport trucks that they take them to the camps, and he knew enough about it to where he's able to talk his way through without security getting to.
Didn't he have like codes or something to say to get in? Like there's codes you can say to get into this place. And
he
all
knew
that.
where he was staying and all this good stuff. So he went and hid.
Under a cabin, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't he like go hide under a cabin for like 5 hours?
He hid to stay kind of out of the limelight. But then he tried. The big reason he was there was to go to the cremation of care ceremony. Is that what it's called?
which we discussed a little bit. That's where they go put a fake child on an altar and set it on fire.
Yeah, so I can't figure out if this is like a finale or if it's a start.
Well, there's a start.
Was it the beginning or the end?
It seems to me like a starting point.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that for sure, but
I think that is a start, and then there's an ending ceremony too.
Okay,
That's where the drag stuff comes into play.
That's where they start doing their hijinks. Is at the end, if I've read that correctly.
Yeah. So the cremation of care ceremony, he did get a camera to it and he filmed it. It's super weird. These druid, I don't even know what a druid is. What's a druid?
It's what they look like in the video. It's all I know.
So they to me
playing up our idiot trope here.
Yeah, it looks like a KKK type garb, with a hood and stuff, and they're carrying torches, and they come in, and the owl speaks through speakers. I think it's Tom Brokaw
Now,
as his voice recorded.
it's not Tom Brokaw. Dadgummit. It's another newscaster guy. Hold on. Dadgummit.
Anyway.
I had it.
Anyway,
Keep talking.
he gives this long speech, and if you listen to it, it sounds pretty spiritualistic, demonic.
Yeah. Open yourself
like
up.
worship,
like really ritualistic,
like
chants
worship.
and
Yeah,
weird stuff.
Let the wind go through your body.
And then the high priests or whatever, they bring in a coffin type, casket type thing with a body in it. May or may not be a child size, but that's still in question. But then they burn it at the feet of this giant silver owl, Walter Cronkite.
There it is.
Just came to me.
Dadgummit. I'm over here looking it up and I knew it the
Walter
whole time.
Cronkite was the voice. But it's super, super creepy. And he filmed the whole thing.
Sorry, Brokaw. It's not you.
Yeah. He filmed the whole thing, and you can tell why they didn't want people filming it.
It is so weird.
So weird. That's where I have a problem with it. It's like, if you want to hang out with your buddies, go hang out with your buddies in the woods. But
If you want to spend $25,000 to go hang out with your buddies and
it's like
trees,
if we were to hang out, we're playing cornhole and playing poker. When they hang out, they're
what are they doing?
well, they're getting
softball.
Well, they're getting together and performing plays.
Yes,
which is there's never been a time where me and the boys got together and said, dude, I've got a great idea for a play. Let's do it.
And they'll apparently spend some money, like $150,000 for a self-produced production of this plays.
Entertain a bunch of other dudes.
And guess what? There's no girls to play the girl part, so guess who does?
Dudes.
The dudes in
drag.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a blast.
George Bushman like Georgina.
Sounds like a blast.
Georgina Bushel.
Can you imagine him being in a drag on the stage? Like,
hey. I'm a woman.
Fool me once.
Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice.
You might be a woman.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. That was the worst George Bush impression ever.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so apparently they just like to go in the woods and party, drink, and watch plays of each other.
And like even that in itself isn't like the worst thing. It's the stuff the
sacrifice
guts of
part.
it, that part of it.
Yeah, the cremation of care ceremony is the part that I have the biggest problem with.
Dictating policy.
Well, that's
Yeah.
you're setting a fake child on fire to an owl.
Or a human.
If I did that,
or an adult.
if I did that in my backyard, like I would get arrested.
I'd get arrested immediately. So there's strike one. If you're starting anything off with like, hey, let's set something on fire that could be a human, and then we're gonna dictate what the world's policy is on top of it.
Yeah.
Right after that,
While being hammered.
Yeah, while being as drunk as possible. That's a bad idea. That's just not a good combination.
The security part of it too, it makes it super sus.
Yeah,
it's like if you're having a summer camp in the woods, no matter who's there, who cares?
Yeah.
But when you're like, I'm gonna kill people, and we're gonna pay like millions of dollars in security to keep people out year round, whether they're there or not, they're up to something. They're hiding something. I mean, you don't like,
I mean, whether it's just their gay tendencies or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
I actually saw in 2019 I don't know if it was local or state police, but they dropped protections for them. Like they're not covering them anymore.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. But they probably have their own.
They pay their own, yeah.
They got their own deal going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that's got arrested just trying to sneak in and
Mm-hmm.
see the place, and even like I said, even when people's not there, it's still on lockdown.
Yeah,
which is weird.
There's videos online of people sneaking in. Those are a little bit. They're not great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones I seen looked fake.
I mean, some of them may be real, but it's all at nighttime. It's really hard to tell anything of what's actually going on. The best one I've kind of looked at is the Alex Jones one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
even it's shaky because he's having to hide the camera a lot. Like you can barely see much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do they even still have this thing going on anymore? Is it still happening year to year?
Yeah, every year.
Because it's weird that like if you look it up, like it's been covered everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that makes me think they've moved. Like the real players have moved on somewhere else.
So they've got.
Makes sense.
They've got the Bohemian Grove, but then there's also the Bohemian Club, which is in San Francisco somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's where
It's
they
just a
meet
building.
up.
Yeah.
It's just where they meet up when they're not at the Grove. The Grove is like the big hurrah, I think,
Gotcha.
where all the guys get together. But that doesn't mean that decision making is not happening
Right.
at the club on other days of the week.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be like a super like bad national like security thing? It's like having all these powerful people in one spot. Can someone just like just blow the place up, you know?
Wow.
And there goes.
Got to cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, it's a national security concern.
CIA, we're just
Daggone
talking.
I don't have ICBMs, okay?
What's that?
Hey,
And
Connor,
Connor ballistic missile.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
we're gonna have to censor Connor over here.
I'm just saying, no one thought
Daggone
about
it.
that, you know?
Well,
They have now.
I mean, when you put Trump on a stage,
You're
you know,
giving me-
150 yards from a building with a shooter on top, that's a national security concern.
Yeah.
When you put a bunch of powerful people in one
Not
spot,
if there's a slanted roof, then you're safe.
that's right.
So you chill out,
Mhm.
especially if it's hot outside.
That's right.
What episode was that?
6.
6, yeah.
Go listen to episode
Yeah.
6.
Would you ever go to this? If you could?
I've thought about it. No, I would if it wasn't for the sacrifice thing.
Yeah. If that was
Like
out,
if that was out, if it was, hey,
Let's go party with
let's
your
go
buddies.
party with the richest guys in the world, I'd be like, that'd be interesting. I'd
Mhm.
have some stories. But
Would
when
you go
when
to
you
it just to check it out, though? Let's just to say you've seen this ritual, you can confirm it with your own eyes.
I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
I
would
wouldn't
you be in the bleachers
I wouldn't want
watching
to be
it?
there. I wouldn't even want to be there.
Just like just
Knowing
big bad vibes.
that I what's going to be there. If
Mhm.
somebody surprised me, say let's go to summer camp.
Mhm.
Sweet. Go to summer camp. And then they're like, hey, sit down. We got this thing. It's cool. Okay, cool. And I sat down and watched it. I mean, you're stuck there.
Right.
I would feel bad.
Like, you
Maybe
try to
we
get
just
up.
need to. Maybe this is what we need to do. We just need to start our own summer camp where we don't get together and do plays. It's just a bunch of dudes hanging out,
Peeing on trees.
peeing on trees.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing.
I mean, we got trees around us. They're not redwoods,
I'm
but
down with that.
yeah, we can carve a statue of Joey.
yeah.
That's gross.
Instead of a boxing
Nobody
ring.
wants
Yeah.
to see that.
Just have a statue of Joey. We won't set. The only thing we'll set on fire is wood, and we're not sacrificing a human.
How about no statues?
I don't.
That's
okay.
where you get into the
Alright.
graven image.
Well, we're not worshiping you. We're not going to be like,
Let's burn this thing in front
I'll
of
dress
Joey.
up like a druid. It won't be weird.
That was one of the thoughts I had. It was like, who was the first one to be like, let's build this giant owl? You know what I mean? Like there had to have been a progression of
weirdness
to get to this level of weirdness.
When did the flush happen from artists and journalists and then politicians and policy?
Yeah, they said it was the money that changed it. It started out as real bohemians just chilling in the woods, frolicking around in their underwear, and then it turned into like, hey, this fancy guy over here's got some money. He wants to come party, and like, cool, he can pay for it. He did, and then
he's like, I got more friends that want to come and be
it
weird.
just blew up into what it is now, 2,700 acres, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's a little over. I think it was like 27,300, something like that.
Yeah,
2,700.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of.
That's a lot of space to get together with your boys.
That's a lot of trees to pee on.
Did it say how many people? Right. How many club members it has, or how many participants?
I did run across it.
I think it was like
2,800
people.
Yeah, it's
but then there's large, like 30,000 people in waiting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And there's other ways to get in too. You can be an invited guest of a member.
Yeah, Kid Rock went.
Yeah, that was surprising. Out of all the names I heard, I was shocked to see him, and he openly talked about it on Rogan's show.
Clint Eastwood was weird to me. Clint Eastwood was the one where I was like, "Dadgummit, really?"
And Reagan too.
Reagan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's most conservative.
Yeah.
Quotes in that conservative.
So that throws on the question of like their conservative
Republican
status.
rhinos is actually what I would call them. The Rhino Party is definitely involved.
Except for Reagan though, he's not. He was.
Yeah, he was.
You never.
Yeah, he was a little.
He's got his stories, but
yeah, he was a little rhino-ish. But he was also an actor ahead of time.
Yeah.
So maybe he got into it for the plays, and then he ended up being president.
I think that's how Kid Rock got in. They wanted him to come play. And
it's weird.
And he said that. He said if you were an artist, like a famous artist that was invited, you were kind of expected, like earn your keep, you know.
When I think of
do a little dance for me.
When I think of artistic and musical, typically I don't think of Kid Rock though. That's not like my first. That's like he's like, this is gonna sound bad. I like Kid Rock, but he's kind of like trailer park rock and roll. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't think he'd fit in with that crowd.
Like
it's like a B-list actor.
Yeah. I wonder who invited him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who was his buddy?
What businessman was like, I want to listen to Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Sweet home Alabama. Yeah.
Ball with the ball to bang the bang.
Yeah.
That's he's just not like I picture for Bohemian and artsy, like you've got an indie band coming to play at that. You don't have Kid Rock.
Greta Van Fleet playing in front of the house.
I like Greta Van Fleet.
They're part of the Grove.
They're probably there. They've probably been there, but
they got invited. They even waived their fee probably. Yeah. Hey, these little boys over here, bring them.
No.
Did you see the Kid Rock episode when he was talking about it?
Yeah.
He seemed a little uncomfortable.
He did.
Because Rogan was getting ready to...
him.
Yeah, he was getting ready to dog Bohemian Grove like we're doing. And then Kid Rock was like, yeah, I've been... Like, whoa.
Yeah.
He had to change
back up.
Yeah, back up a little bit. And he told his story. He said he was only there for a couple of days. He got kicked out because he punched another Bohemian in the face.
Beat down on a Bohemian.
Yeah, but that seems more like a stereotypical Kid Rock thing.
Yeah, that's a
to
Kid
happen.
Rock story.
That's why I'm really questioning why they invited Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a weird thing.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. What do you expect? You invited Kid Rock.
Yeah.
The dude's down in Bud Lights and...
From what I know, the people who attended that's like mostly businessmen, quotations like cleaner individuals, more fancy.
Oh, yeah, they're the fancy pants.
Yeah, and then you got Kid Rock.
These people are still human, and they're going and letting loose a little bit probably at this instance.
Yeah,
and
true.
Maybe Kid Rock's their spirit song. I don't know. Ball with a ball just gets them.
You imagine?
Yeah.
World leader just glows in it.
Losing it.
Get out of your seats. Just mosh pit.
Just a bunch of just white dudes in a suit just out there.
Just yanking ties down.
Crowd killing.
Now, is it all white? Is it like a thing?
I don't know.
Every name I heard, with the exception of Colin Powell, was white folks.
So I watched something with, this was a weird mix-up with Alex Jones and T.I.
Okay.
We're having a conversation, which T.I.'s got a podcast.
Okay.
Didn't anticipate them talking about that, but they did.
Yeah.
Supposedly when he was there, Alex Jones was there, he saw Danny Glover there,
Okay.
which is weird because he would have been pretty young at that point.
In the 90s? No, Danny Glover's older, isn't he?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, he would have been about 25 years younger than what he is right now.
Yeah, he's 78. He would have been in his 50s.
Donald Glover. Is that it?
What? You're just
Hold
making
on.
up names now.
Yeah, I might be.
Just
Hold on.
making up names.
Glover.
Donald Glover is a dude.
Donald Lover.
Ah, yeah, that's him.
White guy.
40 years old. He's our age.
Okay.
So he would have been 18 at the
I
time.
typed in Glover and it pulled up the Nintendo 64 game.
The biggest waste of money ever. The Power Glove.
Yeah. No, we're on something completely different there. Anyway, but he was there. He is an African American male.
Yeah.
And supposedly there was some not nice words for him that popped up about that. So,
Ew. While they were there.
while he was there,
Yeah.
talking about his
Ethnicity.
Yeah.
So So it's not like whites
They're-
only.
yeah.
But if you go there, you're probably
Gonna be
hanging
spotted
out.
out.
Yeah. You're gonna be hanging out with the
you're
whites.
you're definitely gonna be
Hey man, I got this weird
one
group
of
in the
these
woods.
things
You want
is
to
not
come?
like the other type situation.
There's this
Yeah.
really high secret group in the woods. You want to come with me? Oh,
No.
they got hoods on. Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
I'm out.
Oh,
I'm out.
yeah, where's that moment?
Yeah.
You're standing in front of this owl with fire all around
It's
you. and you're
literally it's the movie Get Out, but in real life.
That's a creepy movie. Let's you want me to read the Nixon quote? I'll do it very carefully.
Yeah, be careful with it.
Very carefully. And Richard Nixon, famously there's a pretty famous picture with him and Reagan and somebody else.
Oil executives and
Yeah, they're all sitting in
Very prominent people.
super fancy people sipping on their wine and Chardonnay, sitting around a table. But somebody asked him, well, it was in a tape recording, probably during
I
the
think it came out during Watergate
stuff. Yeah, but here's the quote. I'm going to be really careful because I've got to. The Bohemian Grove, which I attended from time to time, is the most. There's a word that rhymes with baggy. All right, so it is the most baggy GD thing you could ever imagine with that San Francisco crowd.
Yep.
So
So San Francisco was known for some things to begin with.
yeah.
the freedom.
Was it that way back in the day? I know it is now. But
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It started
During that
that way.
time frame, for sure.
That
you had
may be why he was saying
Wasn't
that.
wasn't that
The hippie movement.
I got
wasn't
you.
that the Harvey Milk thing going on during that time frame too? And yeah.
Yeah, so even Nixon going regularly, apparently, in his own words, was
It was a little
he even thought it was a little
On the
weird.
fringe.
Yeah,
about like a football bat.
yeah,
Football bat.
a little weird. But yeah, so you got the richest people in the world making decisions about things that
Behind closed doors.
behind closed doors.
It's like, come on.
I'm not even completely against that. I mean, most of the politics happens.
I guess
it's not
that's
out-
true.
You know what I
Behind
mean?
closed
Like,
doors.
yeah, the real stuff that happens in session and during council meetings and stuff like that is usually just
Dog and pony.
Dog and pony.
Yeah.
The decisions were made before
Mhm.
they got there. So
Sure.
that's probably where most of this happens.
But also, it's like how much. But all that's coming from straight from their mouth. There's no. I mean, I guess there's some discourse in those groups, but it's so closed off. There's no
Mhm.
input from anywhere else, for
Mhm.
anyone else to like make a decision. It's just like, oh, this is just how it's gonna be.
yeah,
But
Which
we
kinda
also
sucks.
don't know what
Yeah.
what amount of power these people have.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
could just be mascots.
we don't really know what power they have on the other side of that Bohemian Grove.
Mm-hmm.
like what?
Like, do they have the pull to actually make a lot of these things happen
I got you.
every single time?
I
Probably
bet
not.
it's probably mostly about the networking though. Just making
Well,
friends.
You can't do that according to their motto.
Yeah, right. No.
You think
Yeah, that's
that's-
tossing the
You
trash.
think that's just like a no? We're not doing anything. Don't
Yeah.
look. Our motto
The
even
motto says we're not talking
yeah, We're
business.
not. You think that's just kind of a look over here thing?
I think it started out.
Yeah, and then it became a frat party on steroids.
Yeah, it started out with that. Like, hey, we're going to hang out in the woods to do whatever, and
I don't
then
think we're
the
giving
money
enough
got
credence
involved.
to a bunch of dudes getting together and like performing plays. Like that is the weirdest thing ever to me.
Can you imagine you're in your cabin and you look out your window, you see like just George Bush just hammered running naked through the woods? There's got to be somebody who did that.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be.
So you touched on it. I think that's where the Epstein Islandness of this comes in is like
Getting
you
info on
get people drunk enough, they're going to do things that are going to be like, I don't want anybody to know that.
Yeah.
And if you know that, that knowledge
Play
is
that card
very
right there.
valuable. Yeah.
So I heard some stuff about the Federal Reserve during this, and there was a guy, I can't remember his name, but he was being put up to be the head of the Federal Reserve, and they had some blackmail on this guy. So they could say, no, you're going to raise interest rates when I tell you to raise them, and you're going to lower them when I tell you to lower them. And the Federal Reserve is supposed to be a separate entity completely. Yeah. It's not supposed to be tied politically at all. But if they got some stuff on this dude at the Bohemian, they can say, yeah, you don't have to. I'll just put this video out of you doing whatever, you know?
Yeah, some of the stuff that was put out, particularly from that protester, her name was Mary. I wish I could find her last name, but she got some of the programs, and the program lists the speaker and what they're going to talk about. But of course, nobody knows what they talked about unless you were there.
Right.
But a lot of the titles throughout history of the time she was collecting these, a lot of the titles would match what happened like a year or two later. Yeah, like it was like that was the genesis of certain things happening, 9/11 being one of them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Where's the connection to that?
COVID was one of them too.
Hey, I
can't remember who the speaker was or what the title was. I heard it on another podcast.
Like New World Order type talks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like the COVID one was like something about China with their disease control, and then 2 years later, COVID happens.
Yeah, it's probably not related. It was a bat. That was a bat.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about
That's a bat 600 miles away from Wuhan. Don't even worry about it.
But yeah,
that's crazy to me that these. I mean, there was even with the COVID thing, there was like, I can't remember where every WHO, I think's what it was, got together, and there was. Pandemics was what they were talking about.
Oh, yep.
Like the year before is 2019, and then 2020, it was like,
boom.
Oh, by the way, there's a massive pandemic that's going on.
Hey, glad we were playing this whole thing out.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, it was like pandemic preparedness or something like that. And then, just so happens there's this.
Nothing to see here.
Similar with this whole deal. I mean, we've got people getting together saying, well, maybe it's time we just drop this mask thing and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Could just be a bunch of dudes getting together, frolicking in women's underwear and doing $100,000 plays.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you say you had something on peeing on trees and it being bad?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, that was the connection of like people getting dirt on you, getting pictures of a member, you know. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like you got to think of that.
Yeah.
There's surveillance everywhere.
Yeah. Alex Jones said that there was wires running up into the trees, and there was some stuff that he did that he thought nobody was around and looking, and security approached him and asked him about that thing he just did.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's no way of knowing unless there was cameras in the trees.
Well, I'm sure there is. I mean, you got that much money running around, and they're wanting to keep people out. There's somebody watching all that stuff, making sure that everybody's doing what they should be doing.
Or gathering blackmail.
I don't know how much more blackmail you need than people in robes. Hey, burn that baby, burn that baby. You know what I mean? Burn this thing.
Were they doing chants and stuff during that? Is that what it was?
Yeah, they sang a song after they did the little speak. They burned the thing. They cremated the
doing
thing.
Sound of Music afterward.
Yeah. It was a creepier song. The Sound of Music.
Okay. But in a Gregorian chant.
It was a chant type song. Man, super weird.
I'm just picturing me and the boys getting together.
Yeah.
And there's never a time where we're like,
let's chant.
Right, let's do some chants now.
Burn this thing and chant at it.
There's never a time when I'm looking at Connor over here and going, hey man, I got this idea for a play. Let's do it.
Wear those robes.
I know I'm hammering that, but I just can't get off of it. There is something just so weird about that to me.
Yeah. So where's the owl play in with this? Is that part of the Moloch?
To me, it is. I mean, if you start looking back in history, they had altars to. Now Moloch was a bull head with a human body back during that time frame. Is what they.
But they were sacrificing babies to him.
But they were sacrificing babies to Moloch. So there's a big debate of, was Moloch a god, or was Moloch a form of sacrifice, basically? So,
or was he a fallen angel?
could have been
At
a
one
fallen
time.
angel
Mhm.
at one time,
Little G.
which at that point you're talking little g.
Little G God. Yeah.
So maybe the sacrifice thing was more of it's a look over here for that too, of like, well, no, it's not to a god, it's to it's just a sacrifice to God, is what people argued. It was a sacrifice to God, but it was looked down upon and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Biblically, I looked it up. The owls were represented as like unclean birds, and
Yeah.
like related to like mourning and grieving and things. That's just gives it biblical context of the owl.
Gotcha.
Owls are creepy anyway.
Yeah.
So there's some cute videos of owls, but majority of the time you're in the woods.
Have you ever run into one in the woods by yourself?
No.
Terrifying.
Dude, I've been hunting. Yeah, you go out in the woods hunting like 4 o'clock in the morning, try to get in there before daybreak, and then one of those comes
They
flying
can
by.
spin their heads all the way around.
Just flying, man. They're loud because they're huge. Yeah.
They're big birds.
Yeah, I had one come flying right by me through the trees, like past me in this tree and into another tree. Yeah, dude, I thought I was done.
Mothman coming
I
down.
thought
on
the
him.
Mothman done snatched me up.
I mean,
and
what
took
animal
me
has
to his lair.
rights having eyes that big and the ability to turn its head like that? Like, you have no right to be like that. You were not made by God. You're weird.
I like owls. Owls are cool.
They're cool, but like at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're not cool.
I mean, in the more secular sense, they represent wisdom and knowledge and all of that. So I don't know why they do.
Maybe because they're like stoic.
When
They sit there all
when I
stoic.
think of an owl, all I think is
Tootsie Roll
the
commercial.
yep, there it is. The center of it. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie
One,
Pop?
You
a
think-
two,
You think
a
an
three.
owl would have a British accent? Is that how you look at an owl?
With a monocle.
Yeah.
Maybe it just falls in the fancy pants realm. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, if you name your statue Moloch or you don't, it really doesn't matter. If
If you're
you're
burning something
if you're
at the feet of
burning
it,
something at the feet of it that you're imagining as a child, you're sacrificing Moloch at that point. Sorry.
Yeah. The dots connect.
Yeah, the dots just are there.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you take that out of it. You think everything's cool?
no. I don't think everything's cool. I think that there probably is some dirty deeds being done.
At what point do you just let it go and let it be a thing for these people? At what point you're like, you don't even care anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you take the ritual out of it, whatever. You take just some dudes in the woods doing plays, whatever. I mean, you can do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird, but
Yeah,
I'm a nobody.
That protester lady, her that was her big thing. She was like, if national policy is being made here, we have the right to know what's going on as American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Private entity or not, yeah. If you're forming policy, we have a right to know.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all got anything else to add to this?
Bureaucrat
wrap it?
bash. That's what it is.
I got into eat the rich mode this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
like it.
You did.
Seeping into you,
It
Joey.
brought up some angry feelings just researching this.
So if we were gonna make a play,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm back to it. Sorry. If we were gonna make a play, what would it be?
The Shroudedrealities play?
Huh?
What do you mean?
No. Yeah,
A
Shroudedrealities play that we got invited to Bohemian Grove to perform. We would definitely be the low jinks. We're not the high jinks.
No.
But what would we do?
What the? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm putting y'all on the spot because I have no idea what I would do.
Bigfoot dancing around.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a start.
A Bigfoot dancing.
Are we
with
are we hammered or are we sober?
You got to get hammered to do something
Gotta
like
get
this.
hammered.
Yeah,
You're not doing this in a straight
I'm
mind.
going out with just a leaf on. That's it.
He would be Adam.
That'd be Adam.
Joey would be Eve.
No, I want to be Bigfoot.
And then Bigfoot comes in somewhere.
Gross. Let's wrap it up before we get in more trouble. Shroudedrealities.com finds all the stuff. We dropped Patreon.
Yep.
We've got a cool commercial idea coming out. Keep an eye out for that. We're going to have some fun with this one.
It's kind of like a play.
It is kind of like a play. But hook Patreon if you want to support us. $2. All it is.
$2.
$2. Free early access to our shows.
It's like a cheesy roll up a Taco Bell.
Chat rooms, all that good stuff. So
It's gonna be cool.
help you boys out.
Yep.
Shroudedrealities.com for Steven, Ruby, Joey, and Connor. And Ruby's not here.
Arf.
Arf. We'll see you.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.